1, 2, 3, 4.
Asbury Park Music Foundation is about helping the youth of this community advance forward.
We're trying to equip our students with future-ready career paths that will enable them to gain experience at a young age, technology skills and creative storytelling skills. I want kids to be able to know how to communicate in an engaging way that will be relatable to other people.
It's also about becoming one community, but we've got the people in different areas of Asbury Park that just need the extra help, and we do that through music.
I think the program has helped me. I can express myself freely here.
Right now we have about 50 students that we're working with.
I can drum and talk to friends. If I wanted to, I could learn a song on the piano and work inside of the virtual world that we're making.
Slowly zoom in, pan down, almost like you're operating a drone or something.
So the students have so many different challenges. When you're a low-income family, you don't have the same advantages that other people do. We're looking for a change in lives, a long-term path, so that kids get hope, that they feel connected, they build networks with the community, they have that hope and inspiration to move on to bigger, better things.
What are you doing?
I consider these kids my kids, changing me as a teacher and as an artist myself, and even as a person.
The Rise Up project took place during Black History Month.
When we found out that we received the Impact 100 grant, our first project that we did prior to COVID, it was probably one of the last things that showed at the Paramount Theater.
It was about bringing music to bring the community together and raising awareness for Black history.
Asbury Park schools came to us with the need to be able to create an experience for their Black History Month.
Action!
We thought we were going to start small and do a little tiny show here, but all of a sudden we had a few weeks to put on a production that was going to be seen in front of thousands of people.
In the program, I am the videographer and I help with making the graphics.
And it was an awesome learning lesson to be able to bring these kids in and have them understand the city that they call home. We had applied for the Impact 100 grant the year before, and we didn't make it. It kind of forced us as an organization to kind of rethink, how can we make this better?
The Impact 100 grant process put us in a position to think big, because we would be chasing $5,000 grants and it just would never add up. We envisioned a whole new, bigger program. We would have never gotten to even the plan without being inspired to say, think big.
When COVID hit, our Impact 100 team was right there alongside of us.
Everyone has the same goal of just making a better Asbury Park and a better future for these kids.
They offered the resources of the entire organization and let us know that it was okay to regroup and to figure out what our vision was going to be in order to not only survive, but to thrive.
Are you ready?
Yep.
All right, ready, camera? Ready. All right.
My name is Reggie.
CASA's main mission is to make sure that children who are in the foster care system don't slip through the cracks of that system.
They are required to deal with a caseworker, with a law guardian, with different therapists, with different schools. All of those different groups together don't necessarily interact with one another. So what CASA does is we bring them all together.
They submit a court report with recommendations, and they ask the judge to order certain things for the children so that they get everything that they deserve. The children that we serve are just like your own children, my own children. They are troubled, happy, intelligent, they struggle. They are everybody's children.
Oh, good job.
I didn't really know what home was when I was younger.
For Lorenza, I've interacted with the school because the foster person at the time didn't have any interest in doing that.
As a child, it's hard to speak up. And some people don't understand that if you're not happy where you are, you need to speak up.
I found out she was behind on reading. I secured the funding to make sure she went to a reading program during the summertime. I acted as her parent during any of the activities at school.
Donna was there for me. She helped me, and now I'm with my foster parent. And if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be where I am now.
life with Lorenza has really transcended from a CASA volunteer. After adoption, I became a friend and a mentor of hers.
Are you ready? On your mark.
Today I had a wonderful visit with Reggie.
Get set.
Everything you do with Reggie is high energy.
Go! Go, 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 go.
He's gonna run me ragged and then he's gonna be fine and I'm gonna go take a nap.
When Jean came, things started rolling. If it was a school that she had to go to, she went to the school. If she had to work to call the caseworkers, she called the caseworkers. Whatever she had to do to get him what he needed, it was done.
I believe that the world that he came from is not the world that he will know as he grows up.
Jean is family now. I love her. She just has no idea how much she has helped me. I'm gonna start crying because you just don't know how hard it was.
Children inherently love their parents. When they have to lose them, it's heartbreaking. As a CASA volunteer, we have to recognize that and work with the child to help transfer that feeling to their new family.
So before the Impact Grant, we would have a waiting list of children that needed a volunteer. Since we've gotten the grant, we've been able to recruit more volunteers, and now we don't have a waiting list. The electricity in the room that evening, and to feel the power of all of those women coming together for a common cause is really amazing.
Let me see that smile.
Throughout the COVID restrictions, Impact have been so gracious about offering to help us in anything that we need. Impact's just been a wonderful organization to work with, and we really feel like a team.
I don't think I would ever leave CASA. As long as I'm able to do it, I will be a CASA volunteer.
You think you're only doing it for the kid, but you're doing it for yourself too.
When Clean Ocean Action started in 1984, the New York and New Jersey region was known as the ocean dumping capital of the world. These were legally sanctioned areas that were specific for dumping sewage sludge, acid waste, industrial waste. There was a site for wood burning off of Manasquan and all of these local waterways. That's what it was like in 1984, which seems so barbaric for the time. There were those that said, Cindy, you know, I appreciate what you're trying to do, but you're never going to stop ocean dumping. And I said, well, we'll see about that. We got to work. We identified environmentally sound alternatives and initiated campaigns. And it was the thousands of people that came to the rallies and signed petitions. One by one, we were able to close all the dump sites. By the year 2000, we were dump site free for the first time in 100 years.
The SEAL program has so much potential and so many great people working behind it who really want it to succeed.
The SEAL program is an acronym for Student Environmental Advocates and Leaders.
I look forward to being with people who understand the way I think.
Because of COVID, we've had to pivot the SEAL program into the virtual world. We're hoping in the near future that we can get 20 to 40 students even to be part of the SEAL program and getting to see each other face to face. But for now, virtual meetings will have to do. For the purposes of this video, we got together high school students to demonstrate what we ideally hope the program will look like.
We have our sampling bottle. I'm going to go ahead and put it right in here.
Kids often feel powerless. They see so many things wrong and they don't feel they have the power to change the world, but they actually do. This program is a foundation to empower students to take control of their fears, their worries, their anxieties about the condition of the environment.
We just want to expose them to nature, and this way they can really see where their passion lies. It really reinforces why we're doing what we're doing, and that's what the SEAL program is going to do for students. We're going to give them the tools to make change.
One of the very, very cool things about the ocean is that you can step off here and go anywhere in the world, because really there's only one ocean and they're all connected, as are all of we.
When we got this fabulous grant from Impact 100, I was hired as the SEAL program coordinator.
Impact 100 allows for a huge project to start.
So to see women of different ages and different backgrounds going after what they want and getting it done, I just truly think it's so inspiring, the women of Impact 100.
What Impact does is it makes me feel like family. It makes all of us here feel like family and that we're in this together and we're going to solve it together.
My hopes for my generation when it comes to the environment is to get more people involved in this movement specifically.
When people set their mind to do something, they have the power to change the world. You don't have to be a brainiac, you don't have to be a doctor, you don't have to have a PhD. All you have to have is the passion and the will to make a difference.
Every town denies that they have a homeless situation. Keansburg is a very forgotten town. You have some people that are truly homeless and they never want a home. That's much different than people being in transition where they're between homes.
The biggest misconception about homeless people is that they're lazy and they don't care. This can happen to anybody, everything can go away. I was in the hospital for almost 3 months. I was living with my sister at the time and she couldn't handle the rent and the bills. So we actually went homeless, actually lived in the car. I worked 3 jobs. I get off at 10 o'clock at night, I sit in a car and the seat reclines and that's where I sleep. When you're washing your hair in McDonald's parking lot behind a car door while your sister makes sure no one comes, it's not easy. There's things about being on the street that I will never, ever get over.
Let us pray. The Lord be with you. The Lord be with you. St. Mark's is very committed to meeting the needs of each individual. It's recognizing it's not one size fits all.
The biggest benefit for people that come here, it's a safe place. And then you find out what they really need.
The needs of our community are quite extensive and vary. Food is our main focus, but they also need community. They need a place where they can feel safe, they can feel welcomed, they can feel loved.
They have put in a lot of effort to make sure everybody in town is fed and cared for. They're just wonderful people.
In addition to food, we have access to drug addiction, mental health counseling, some affordable housing alliance. We have a partnership with them, and that's what we do, is we try to love each person where they are, non-judgmentally.
We had a woman who, she's a young parent, she was having problems with her son's father, and she had to go to court. And she was like, I'm terrified, I'm scared. And Reverend Rose and I just said, we'll go to court with you. It's not to speak, not to fight for you, not to step in front of you, to stand beside you.
Almost all of our volunteers have been in that spot. They know how to navigate the system.
Being here helped me to see, it's okay, these people care, these people listen.
We eventually started talking about bringing Roseanne on as staff. Through the Great Impact Grant, we were able to actually offer her a position and get her situated in housing.
I get like a little bubbling, a little effervescence. Being a grant recipient of Impact was one of the most amazing nights of my life. I walked out with such a sense of, you are loved.
Ready to go.
Our Impact 100 grant also has covered the kitchen expansion and renovation.
Today's meal came out of a piece of equipment right behind me that we would not have had if we didn't have the Impact 100 grant.
When the pandemic hit, we realized very quickly that we were going to have to switch to takeout food. Thank God that we had the kitchen finished, because we now had the space to actually package food.
And Impact came in and it was like, boom, now we can do it.
This place doesn't run on anything but love and respect. People still have to eat. That's what we're called as Christians, is to feed each other.